Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. So, before we read Srimad Bhagavatam, let's invoke the blessing of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ईश्वर परमा कृष्णः सच्चिदानन्दविग्रहः अनादिरादिर्गोविन्दः सर्वकारणकारणम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तगण। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, dear devotees, we have been reading Srimad Bhagavatam and we were at Canto 1 and Chapter 1. Just 1 minute. And we are at verse number 10. Prayena alpa ayusha sabhya kalavasmin yuge janaha manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadrutaha. Prayena, almost always. Alpa, meager. Ayusha, duration of life. Sabhya, member of learned society. Kalau, in this age of Kali. Quarrel. Asmin, herein. Yuge, age. Janaha, the public. Mandaha, lazy. Sumanda matayaha, misguided. Mandabhagya, unlucky. He, and above all, Upadrataha, disturbed. Translation. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, all always disturbed. Purport. The devotee of the Lord are always anxious for spiritual improvement of the general public. When the sages of Naimisharanya analyze the state of affairs of the people in this age of Kali, they foresaw that man would live short lives. In Kali Yuga, the duration of life is shortened not so much because of insufficient of food, but because of irregular habits. By keeping regular habits and eating simple food, any man can maintain his health. Overeating, over sense gratification, over dependence of another's mercy, and artificial standards of living sap the very vitality of human energy. Therefore, duration of life is shortened. People of this age are also very lazy, not only materially but in the matter of self realization. The human life is especially meant for self realization. This is to say, man should come to know what he is, what the world is, and what the supreme truth is. Human life is a means by which living entity can end all miseries of the hard struggle for life in material existence, and by which he can return to Godhead, his eternal home. But due to a bad system of education, men have no desire for self realization. Even if they come to know about it, they unfortunately become victims of misguided teachers. In this age, men are victims not only of different political creeds and parties, but also of many different types of sense gratificatory diversions such as cinema, sports, gambling, clubs, mundane libraries, bad association, smoking, drinking, cheating, pilfering, bickering, and so on. Their minds are always disturbed and full of anxieties due to so many different engagements. In this age, many unscrupulous men manufacture their own religious faiths, which are not based on any revealed scriptures. And very often, people who are addicted to sense gratification are attracted by such institutions. Consequently, in the name of religion, so many sinful acts are being carried on that the people in general have neither peace of mind nor health of body. Student, brahmachari, communities are no longer being maintained, and householders do not observe the rules and regulations of Grastha ashram. Consequently, the so-called Vanaprastha and Sannyasi who come out of such Grastha ashrama are easily deviated from the rigid path. In the Kali Yuga, the whole atmosphere is surcharged with faithlessness. Men are no longer interested in spiritual values. Material sense gratification is now the standard of civilization. For the maintenance of such material civilizations, man has formed complex nations and communities, and there is a constant strain of hot and cold wars between these different groups. It has become very difficult, therefore, to raise the spiritual standard due to present distorted values of human society. The sages of Naimisharanya are anxious to dismantle all fallen souls, and here they are seeking the remedy from Srila Sutta Goswami. Next verse number 11. भूरिनि भूरि कर्माणि श्रोतव्यानि विभागशः अथा साधो अत्र यत्सारं समुद्धृत्य मनीषयः ब्रूहि भद्राय भूतानां येन आत्मा सुप्रसीदति. Bhurini, multifarious. Bhuri, many. Karmani, duties. Shrotavyani, to be learned. Vibhagsha, by divisions of subject matter. Ataha, therefore. Sadho, O sage. Atra, herein. Yet, whatever. Saram, essence. Samudritya, by selection. Manishaya, to the best of your knowledge. Bruhi, please tell us. Bhadraya, for the good of. Bhutanam, the living beings. Yena, by which. Atma, the self. Suprasidati, becomes fully satisfied. Translation. There are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties, which can be learned only after many years of study in their various divisions. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of these scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings, that by such instruction their hearts may be fully satisfied. Purport. Atma or self is distinguished from the matter and material elements. It is spiritual in constitution, and thus it is never satisfied by any amount of material planning. All scriptures and spiritual instructions are meant for the satisfaction of the self or Atma. There are many varieties of approaches which are recommended for different types of living beings in different times and at different places. Consequently, numbers of revealed scriptures are innumerable. There are different methods and prescribed duties recommended in these various scriptures. Taking into consideration the fallen condition of the people in general in this age of Kali, the sages of Naimisharanya suggested that Sri Suta Goswami relate the essence of all such scriptures, because in this age it is not possible for the fallen souls to understand and undergo all the lessons of all these various scriptures in a Varna and Ashrama system. The Varna and Ashrama society was considered to be the best institution for lifting the human beings to the spiritual platform. But due to Kali Yuga, it is not possible to execute the rules and regulation of these institutions. Nor is it possible for the people in general to completely sever relations with their families as the Varnashrama institution prescribes. The whole atmosphere is surcharged with opposition. And considering this, one can see that spiritual emancipation for the common man in this age is very difficult. The reason the sages presented this matter to Sri Suta Goswami is explained in the following verses. Number 12. Suta janassi bhadram te Bhagavan sattvatam devakyam vasudevasya jatu yasya chikrisseya. Suta, O Suta Goswami, Janasi, you know, Bhadram te, all blessings upon you. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Satvatam, of pure devotees. Patihi, the protector. Devakyam, in the womb of Devaki. Vasudevasya, by Vasudeva. Jataha, born of. Yasya, for the purpose of. Chikisya, executing. Translation. All blessings upon you, O Suta Goswami. You know for what purpose the personality of God had appeared in the womb of Devaki as son of Vasudeva. Purport. Bhagavan means the Almighty God, who is the controller of all opulence, power, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. He is the protector of his pure devotees. Although God is equally disposed to everyone, he is especially inclined to his devotees. Sat means absolute truth, and persons who are servitors of the absolute truth are called sattvatas. And the personality of Godhead, who protects such pure devotees, is known as the protector of the sattvatas. Bhadram or blessings upon you, indicates the sage's anxiety to know the absolute truth from the speaker. Lord Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared to Devaki, the wife of Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the symbol of transcendental position wherein the appearance of Supreme Lord takes place. Next, verse 13. Tanna survishtus mananam arhasi angananu vrinutum yasya avattaro bhutanam shemya cha bhavya cha. Tat those na unto us Shushu Samananam, those who are endeavoring for. Arhasi, ought to do it. Anga, O Suta Goswami. Anu Varnitum, to explain by following in the footsteps of previous acharyas. Yasya, whose. Avtara, incarnation. Bhutanam, of living beings. Shamya, for the good. Cha, and. Bhavya, upliftment. Cha, and. Translation. O Suta Goswami, we are eager to learn about the personality of Godhead and his incarnations. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous masters, acharyas, for one is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them. Purport. The conditions for hearing the transcendental message of the Absolute Truth are set forth herein. The first condition is that the audience must be very sincere and eager to hear, and the speaker must be in the line of disciplic succession from the recognized acharya. The transcendental message of the Absolute is not understandable by those who are materially absorbed. Under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master, one becomes gradually purified. Therefore, one must be in the chain of disciplic succession and learn the spiritual art of submissive hearing. In the case of Suta Goswami and the sages of Naimisharanya, all these conditions are fulfilled because Srila Suta Goswami is in the line of Srila Vyasadeva, and the sages of Naimisharanya are all sincere souls who are anxious to learn the truth. Thus, the transcendental topics of Lord Sri Krishna's superhuman activities, his incarnation, his birth, appearance or disappearance, his forms, his names, and so on, are all easily understandable because all the requirements are fulfilled. Such discourses help all men on the path of spiritual realization. Number 14. अपन्न संस्कृतिं घोरं यन्नाम विवशो गृह्णान् तत् सद्य विमुच्येत्य यद्बिभेति स्वयं भयम्. Apanna, being entangled. Apanna, being entangled. Samsritim, in the hurdle of birth and death. Ghoram, too complicated. Yat, what? Nama, the absolute name. Vivasa, unconsciously. Granan, chanting. Tataha, from that. Sadhya, at once. Vimucheta, gets freedom. Yet, that which. Viveti, fears. Swayam, personally. Bhayam, fear itself. Translation. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared from by fear personified. Purport. Vasudeva or Lord Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, is the supreme controller of everything. There is no one in creation who is not afraid of the rage of Almighty. Great asuras like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, and others, who are very powerful living entities, were all killed by the personality of Godhead. And the Almighty Vasudeva has empowered his name with the powers of his personal self. Everything is related to him, and everything has its identity in him. It is stated herein that the name of Krishna is feared even by the fear personified. This indicates that the name of Krishna is non different from Krishna. Therefore, the name of Krishna is as powerful as Lord Krishna himself. There is no difference at all. Anyone, therefore, can take advantage of the holy names of Lord Shri Krishna even in the midst of greatest dangers. The transcendental name of Krishna, even though uttered unconsciously or by force of circumstances, can help one obtain freedom from hurdle of birth and death. Number 15. यत्पादसंश्रयासुता मुनय प्रशंसयम्यनः यद्य पुनन्ति उपस्पृष्टः स्वर्धुनीयापो अनुसेवया yet those pada lotus feet samshaya those who have taken shelter of Suta O Suta Goswami Munaya great sages prasammayanaha absorbed in the devotion to the Supreme Sadhyaha at once Punanti sanctify Upa Upasprashtaha simply by association Swardhuni of sacred Ganges Apaha water Anusevayaha bringing into use. Translation O Suta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the waters of Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use. Pure devotees of the Lord are more powerful than the waters of the sacred river Ganges. One can derive spiritual benefit out of prolonged use of Ganges water, but one can be sanctified at once by the mercy of pure devotee of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that any person, regardless of birth, as Shudra, woman, or merchant, can take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and by so doing can return to Godhead. To take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord means to take shelter of the pure devotees. The pure devotees whose only business is serving are honored by the names Prabhupada or Vishnupad, which indicates such devotees to be representatives of the lotus feet of the Lord. Anyone, therefore, who takes shelter of the lotus feet of pure devotee by accepting the pure devotee as his spiritual master can be at once purified. Such devotees of the Lord are honored equally with the Lord because they are engaged in the most confidential service of the Lord. For they deliver out of material world the fallen souls, whom the Lord wants to return home back to Godhead. Such pure devotees are better known as wise lords, according to the revealed scriptures. The sincere disciple of the pure devotee considers the spiritual master equal to the Lord, but always consider himself to be humble servant of the Lord. This is pure devotional path. So let's read one more. Number 16. को वा भागवतस्तस्य पुण्यश्लोकेऽद्यया कर्मणः शुद्धिकामो न शृणुयात् यसा कलिमलपहम् Kaha, who, va, rather, Bhagavata of the Lord. Tasya is Punya virtuous, Shlokadya worshipable by prayers, Karmanaha deeds, Shuddhi Kamaha desiring deliverance from all sins, Na not. Shrunuyat does hear. Yasaha glories. Kali of the age of quarrel. Malapanah, Mala, Malapaham, the agent of sanctification. Translation. Who is there, desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of quarrel? Who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord? Purport. The age of Kali is the most condemned age due to its quarrelsome features. Kali Yuga is so saturated with vicious habits that there is a great fight at the slightest misunderstanding. Those who are engaged in pure devotional service of the Lord, who are without any desire for self aggrandizement, and who are freed from the effects of fruitive actions and dry philosophical speculations, are capable of getting out of estrangements of this complicated age. The leaders of the people are very anxious to live in peace and friendship, but they have no information of the simple method of hearing the glories of the Lord. On the contrary, such leaders are opposed to the propagation of the glories of the Lord. In other words, the foolish leader want to completely deny the existence of the Lord. In the name of secular state, such leaders are enacting various plans every year. But by the insurmountable intricacies of the material nature of the Lord, all these plans for progress are being constantly frustrated. They have no eyes to see that their attempts at peace and friendship are failing. But here is the hint to get over the hurdle. If we want actual peace, we must open the road to understanding of the Supreme Lord Krishna and glorify Him for His virtuous activities as they are depicted in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Vyasadeva ki jai. So tomorrow we'll start from 17. So dear devotees, anybody has any question, correction, chastisement, or any realization? Right? So if there is no question, we'll wrap up. Vancha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhu bhevcha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo. Anantakoti Vaishnavind ki jai. Thank you, dear devotees, for listening to me, and please forgive me if I have not read properly. So we'll stop here and continue chanting.